Hello everyone, welcome to Global Online UGC Net and Set Exam Preparation channel. Please let me know if my voice is audible. Also let me know if we can start with today's session. As you all know that we are studying logical reasoning, students. So in this session, we will be taking up the PYQs of this unit. Okay, and exactly the last year PYQs. Okay. Means the last cycle PYQs I've taken in this particular session. Okay. Please let me know if my voice is audible. In the comment section, please reply, students. Okay. And please confirm when we can start with the session. Okay. So before going further with the lecture, I would also like to tell you, students, that this is a practice session and I request all of you to answer the questions in the comment section, and it would be very nice if you'll put the question number along with your answer. Okay, so it will help me to know on which question you are, right? And a very important announcement for your upcoming UGC NET 2022 examination, that we are starting with our paper 1 preparation with the help of a new batch which is starting from 24th of April. And the speciality of this batch is that we are going to take daily live lectures, which will include lectures from all the 10 units of your paper 1 syllabus, and we'll be completing your theory as well as MCQs. And if a student misses any one of these lectures, so we will be uploading the live lectures also, so that you can watch the same lectures later on as well. And the our class timing is from Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. Okay, and along with our classes we provide you complete study material as well, that consists of notes, last 10 years question papers, along with solutions. You have test series, question bank, PYQs, everything that you need for paper 1 preparation. So if you want to join, you can either download Global Online app or you can WhatsApp us on this number. The fees for paper 1 is 3000 only. uh, and also, as you all know that every day we are putting up evaluation test. So what is evaluation test, students? Evaluation test is, it helps you to know whether you have understood a particular topic or not. For example, this is how the Global Online app looks like. First, what you have to go do is open the app and go to store and find UGC Net paper 1. Then you will get this course. It looks something like this. Click on that course and you will see all these particular folders on each and every unit. So you have teaching aptitude, you have research aptitude, you have reading comprehension, communication, everything you have. And you have logical reasoning as well. So as you all know, logical reasoning, yes, so in logical reasoning what you have is theory lectures, MCQ lectures, notes, mock test, and evaluation test. So today's evaluation test code is LR007. And after this session, what you have to do is go and give this test. Okay? Yes. So, so this is how the syllabus for logical reasoning looks like. You have arguments, you have structure of arguments, categorical propositions, moods and figures, formal, informal fallacies, uses of language, connotation, denotation of terms, classical square of opposition. So each and every topic we have seen it in detail up till now. And also, students, we have taken Venn diagram and how do you find the validity of an argument. We have also seen Indian logic. So Indian logic comprises of means of knowledge. You have pramanas, all the 6 types of pramanas you have. Then you have structure and kinds of anumana. So in today's session, what we are going to do is, we are going to take up questions from last year, that is 2021 PYQs I have taken, so that you get an idea of what kind of question comes in the examination. Okay, exactly, we'll see the kind of question. Okay, so the first question, this question I've taken from 1st December paper, December 2021. So, which of the following statement is or are true? The term false, true and false apply to arguments. The term true and false apply to statements. The term valid invalid apply to argument. The term cogent and non-cogent applies to statements. So this is the first question of today's session. Try to answer it, students. Which of the following statements are true? Okay, try to answer this. First question, everyone. Students, in the comment section, please let me know. What do you think is the answer? Which of the following statements are true? The term true and false apply to arguments. Okay, I'm getting answers. Others also keep replying, keep answering the questions. Okay, so students, whatever questions that I am going to take up today, we have already seen each and every topic in our previous lectures. Okay, so this means that this is a revision class. Okay, we have already seen such questions, or the theory we have already seen. For example, if I look at the first statement, the term true and false apply to arguments. No, this statement is absolutely incorrect. You remember I told you in the first lecture of logical reasoning, I told you that the term true and false, it applies to statements. Okay, so true and false apply to statements. The term valid and invalid apply to arguments. Okay, if you're talking about argument, an argument could be valid or it could be invalid. Okay, we cannot call an argument true or false. True and false are statements, and valid and invalid are arguments. Okay, and a valid and invalid we call it deductive argument. Okay, and an argument could be, a deductive argument could be sound or unsound, while inductive argument can be cogent or non-cogent or uncogent, you can say. So in this question, B and C is the correct answer, which makes option B as right. B and C are true. Okay, which of the following statements are true? If you look at this, true and false apply to statements and valid and invalid apply to arguments. Okay, the right answer is option B. Next question. This is again a question from 1st December 2021. Given below are two statements. Two contrary statements be cannot both be false. Two contrary statements cannot both be true. Okay, now you have to tell if both are correct or if both are incorrect or if one of them is correct. So on the basis of these two statements, you have to mark the right answer. Okay, try to answer the second question. You remember this question is a part of square of opposition, students. Okay, remember square of opposition. We saw four conditions related to square of opposition. What did we see? We saw contrary, subcontrary, subaltern, and contradictory. Yes, okay. So contrary, you remember, how does the square of opposition looks like? It looks like this, students. You have to make a Z. A, E, I, O. So this is square of opposition. A, E, I, and O. So here, contrary is the relationship between A and E. Subcontrary is the relationship between I and O. Contradictory is the relationship between A and O and I and E. Okay, and subaltern is this relationship. So if you are talking about contrary, students, in contrary, both statements cannot be true. Okay, both statements cannot be true, right? So which state, you have to tell which of these are true or which are false. So if you look at the first statement, two contrary statements cannot both be false. So this statement is incorrect. Okay, this statement is incorrect because in contrary, both can be false. Okay, both can be false, but both cannot be true. Okay, so this statement 2 is correct and statement 1 is false, which makes the right answer as option D. 1 is false, but second is true. So Pratiksha has given the right answer. Very good, Pratiksha. Others also, please reply. And if you think that the quality, if you feel that the quality of the video is low, then go to second settings and change the quality to 480 pixels. Okay, then the video will be clear. Yeah. So two contrary statements cannot, this cannot be false. Okay. Now you know, everybody knows what does contrary say, students. Contrary says that both cannot be true. Okay, both can be false. You remember the example that I gave you in my lecture? I gave you, if there are two people standing, two interns are standing. So if both of say that India, then this is not true in real life. Okay, there is always one prime minister of a country. So if both are saying I am PM, the other is saying I am PM, so this cannot happen. One of them is certainly saying false, so both of them can say false. If two people are standing, maybe both of them are not PM. Okay, both of them can be false. If he's saying I am the PM, even if he's also saying second person is saying I am the PM, so both of them could be lying, but both of them cannot be true. Both can be false, but both cannot be true. So if you're talking about contrary, contrary is the relationship between A and E. Okay, contrary is the relationship between A and E. So the right answer is D. Now let's look at the third question. This is exactly, these are the questions that have come up in the previous years. So students, I take only those questions that have been asked in the last year question paper, because these are the actual type of questions that will come in the examination. Okay, so there is no need of practicing only simple questions, students. You should know the reality that what are the kind of questions that you should expect. Okay, don't expect very simple, like, to the point questions. Questions are certainly going to be tricky. Okay, so question of number 3 is saying identify the correct sequence of inference from beginning to the end according to Nyaya system. So this is a very simple question. In my previous session, means yesterday's session, the Thursday session, I have taken this question. What is the sequence of inference from beginning to the end according to Nyaya system? Try to answer this, students. Okay. Okay, one student has deleted the answer. uh, all the students who are live, why are you not replying? See, it's very important for you to reply even if it is incorrect, because here we are here to practice. It's okay to make mistakes, because I am going to rectify your mistakes. What we have to do is we have to mark the right answer in the examination. Okay, it's okay to make mistakes over here so that you don't make mistakes in the examination. Okay, yes. So you remember Nyaya system. In Sanskrit or in Indian logic, inference is called as Anumana. Okay, what is inference? Inference is Anumana. So there are 5 members in Nyaya system of inference. The correct sequence has 5 steps. So the first step starts with Pratijina. So Pratijina is what? Pratijina is the proposition. Okay, for example, if I am saying this hill has fire. So what is the reason? The reason is because it has smoke. So reason is hetu. Okay, hetu is the reason. Okay, now what will come? Now will come udharna. Udharna is the example. Okay, example. Then will come upanaya. Upanaya is the application, and the last will come nigamna. So nigamna is called the conclusion or the deduction. So the right answer will be C, B, A, E, D. Okay, D will be the answer, which all of you have given right. Very nice. I'm so happy to see this. Student, this is a very basic question that will certainly come in the examination. Okay, I'm very sure of it, because the sequence, what is the sequence and what does each term means in Sanskrit, you should know. So, or in English, udharna is the example, you can say. Then pratijina is the proposition. Nigamna is the conclusion, or you can say the deduction. And upanaya is the application. Okay. So the typical nyaya inference example, you should know. What is the example? That the pratijina is the this hill has fire. So what is the reason? Because it has smoke. The udharna is or the udharan is, whenever there is smoke, there is fire. The conclusion is, so this hill has smoke, therefore it has fire. Now the nigamna or the conclusion is that this hill has fire. So this is the typical example of a nyaya inference. Very important. You should know all of these terms by heart. Okay. Yes. Very nice. I am very happy to see that Vijay has given me this acronym FOON. What is this FOON? So many people call phone as FOON. Okay. So you can remember from that PHWN. Pratijina, Hetu, Udharna, Upnaya, and Nigamna. Very good. Okay, why did you delete that message? It's okay. Students, you should share whatever knowledge you have. Okay, if you have some tricks to remember, it's okay to share. Okay, so this is your Nyaya system inference steps. Coming to the fourth question. So this is very nice question, students. I personally feel that formal and informal fallacies is a little tricky topic as compared to others, because here what happens is there are so many fallacies. Okay, in the examination, students, there are lots of fallacies that can be asked. So, but we have taken each of them in detail. Okay, so here this question and these fallacies are quite interesting. If you remember whatever we have studied in the previous sessions, yeah. So the Daily News carried an article this morning about three local teenagers who were arrested on charges of drug possessions. So the statement is, teenagers these days are nothing but a bunch of junkies. Okay, so this is a news in a local newspaper. Okay, yes. So the question is asking what is the fallacy? Which fallacy is committed in this statement? So what is the situation is, the Daily News carried an article this morning about three local teenagers who were arrested on the charge of drug possession. So, in a city, three teenagers were arrested because they had drugs with them. Now, on the basis of this situation, we are saying teenagers these days are nothing but a bunch of junkies. So, what is junkies? Junkies are drug addicts. So, just because three teenagers are having drugs, we are calling them, or we are giving them title as junkies. So which fallacy is committed in the above statement? So you remember in the class I had already told you, there are two types of fallacies in Western logic. We have formal fallacies and informal fallacies. In formal fallacies, the fallacy is because of the structure or form of the argument, and informal fallacy is based on the content. Okay, remember. Got it? So students, now the fallacy that is committed is, okay, students are answering very good. Red herring, straw man, argument against the person, or hasty generalization. So what is red herring fallacy? Red herring fallacy is when you are diverting the argument to other least important things. Okay, you are, if one person is giving an argument, the other person is changing the topic of the argument. So this is red herring fallacy. Okay, then you have the second is strawman fallacy. So you have strawman fallacy. In strawman fallacy, what you do is you exaggerate. Okay, you ex- exaggerate the other person's point or argument. For example, the example that I gave you yesterday, what was the one person was saying that human beings are responsible for climate change. So the other person is saying, oh, so do you think we are responsible for all the cyclones or hurricanes? So what you should do, we should go and do some rain dance. So what the other person is exaggerating the point that was said by the first person. So this is strawman fallacy. Okay, then we have third is argument against the person. So sometimes what we do is we judge the person. Okay, but here the answer is hasty generalization. So what is the meaning of hasty? Hasty means hurry. Okay, hurriedly we are generalizing on what three people have done. What three people have done. On the basis of that, we are saying that all the teenagers, we are giving a general statement that teenagers these days are nothing but a bunch of junkies. So the fallacy that is committed is hasty generalization, when without thinking, just on the basis of a small group, we are giving a title to all the people. Okay, for example, if you went to city and you saw that two people, or you saw two boys who were drinking and driving. So now if you say that all the people who live in big cities or metro cities, all the boys drink and drive. So what fallacy is committed? The fallacy is hasty generalization. So without giving much thought, we are giving a general statement on all the people. Okay, yes, good evening Shreya. Yes, try to answer the questions. Now comes the fifth question. A formal fallacy is one that may be identified through mere inspection of the form or structure of an argument. The second statement is saying formal fallacies are found only in deductive argument that have identifiable forms. So you have to tell which of the statements are correct. If both are correct, both are incorrect, or if one of them is correct. Shreya, it's okay if you are late, you can still attend the session. No problem. You can rewatch the session as well. Try to answer question number 5. I told you formal fallacy. So formal fallacy is where the you can identify formal fallacy if the argument has problem in the form or structure. Okay, if the error is in the form of this or the structure of the argument, then the fallacy is formal fallacy. Okay, so statement 1 is true. The second statement is saying the second statement is saying formal fallacies are found only in deductive argument that have identifiable forms. So here both the statements are true. Okay, formal fallacies are found in deductive argument, student. Okay, So these fallacies that we are talking about, these are found in deductive arguments. So both of the statements are correct. The question number 5, right answer is option A. Okay, let's see the next question, question number 6. This question is taken from the 22nd November 2021 paper. Whosoever thrusts a knife into another person should be arrested. Surgeons thrust a knife into another person when operating. Therefore, surgeons must be arrested. Which fallacy is committed in the following argument? Hasty generalization, fallacy of accident, red herring, or appeal to unqualified authority. Question number 6. Try to answer question number 6, students. So, whosoever. See, here the argument is one person is saying whosoever. Thrust means whosoever is putting a knife into another person. What is putting a knife? Normally, putting a knife into another person is murder, which is just not acceptable. Murder is a crime. You cannot kill another person. So, normally when somebody is putting a knife into another person, it means murdering. But surgeons, they also use knife, but what they are doing is they are operating people. For example, somebody has a tumor in their body. So, with the help of a knife, they are doing lot of operation and they remove whatever tumor they have. So, if a person is putting a knife into another person, he should be arrested. So do you think surgeon should be arrested? No, because surgeon is using a knife to treat the sick people. So there is a fallacy committed. Okay, there is a fallacy committed in this statement. Vijay is saying hasty generalization. No, Vijay, hasty generalization will not be the answer, because this fallacy means if we are coming to a general statement on just looking at some people. Okay, right? So this is not right. Hasty generalization will come like the previous question said. If three people are having drugs, if three teenagers are having drugs, so I'm saying all people are having drugs. Okay, so this is not right. Students, don't get confused. The answer to this question is option B, fallacy of accident. Okay, what is fallacy of accident? Whenever an event is violating the thumb rule. Okay, so in the previous class, when I had taken this uh, formal and informal fallacies, at that time also I have taught fallacy of accident. What happens is whenever one there is a thumb rule, so there could be a situation which is violating the thumb rule. For example, if I say all birds fly, so this is a general statement, but you know that penguins don't fly. Okay, ostrich, penguin, kiwi, these are some birds which don't fly. So if I'm saying ostrich, all birds fly, therefore ostrich flies. So what here ostrich is a kind of an exception. We know that all the birds in the world they fly, but there are a couple of birds which don't fly. So these couple of birds, these are a part of fallacy of accident. If I am saying all birds are fly, therefore ostrich also flies. But you know ostrich does not fly, because sometimes there are certain cases which violate the thumb rule. So what is the thumb rule? Thumb rule, you know, all birds fly. But what is the exception? Ostrich also, ostrich is also a bird, but it does not fly. So if I am saying ostrich also fly, this is a fallacy of accident. The same thing is applying in this question. We know anyone who is putting a knife into another person's body, he should be arrested, because you cannot hurt a person. But surgeons are a exception, because surgeons use knife in a person's body to treat the people. Okay, so surgeon is a exception who are using knife. So this is fallacy of accident. Red herring also we saw. Red herring is what? Whenever a person deviates the argument. Okay, Appeal to unqualified authority is someone who is giving a statement who is not qualified enough to give that statement. So this is appeal to unqualified authority. So now we know what is history generalization, fallacy of accident, red herring, or appeal to unqualified authority. You remember with red herring, I gave you an example of Mike and Eric. Eric was saying, why on earth would you cheat your spouse? So the other person was saying, what is cheating? So he says, okay, cheating is the rules that is set up by cultures. The other person said, who is making those rules? So what is this? Two people are having a conversation, but the other person is deviating from the conversation. Okay, so this is red herring fallacy. Now you know hasty generalization, fallacy of accident, red herring, and appeal to unqualified authority. All of the fallacies you know. Okay, okay, my dear students, now you know all the fallacies. Now you are not going to make error in the examination. Okay, I hope so. Let's see the next question. Which of the following types of inference is used when one infers rainfall on the hills from floods? So which kind of inference is this? Purvavat, Sheshvat, Samanya Drishta, or okay, and I cannot, seriously students, I cannot pronounce this. This is way too difficult. Samanya Lasanya Pratyakshati. Okay, there are certainly so many. So this is actual question that has come up, okay, in the examination. Very difficult names. But still, it is there in the syllabus. We should know it. Which of the following type of inference is used when one infers rainfall on the hills from floods? Okay, very nice. Student are giving right answer. Very good. And I'm really happy to see when my students are giving the right answer, because this helps me, or this tells that you are studying, which is very important. Students exam dates are going to be announced any day, so we should be certainly prepared for the examinations, right? So which of the following inference is used when one infers rainfall on the hills from floods? So many times you might have seen rivers are flooded, so it could be because of the rain on the mountains or the hills. So the inference, you remember there are three types of inference in Indian logic of Anuman. Anuman is of three types. One is Purvavat, the other is Sheshvat, and the third is Samanyu Drishta. This one. Okay. So if we are inferring rains, we are talking about floods. Okay, flood is there in the rivers. Yeah. So flood is there, but this flood will this flood will come up because there was rain on the mountains or hills. So first means rainfall happened before, after that flood has come. So after the event you are seeing floods, means rainfall might have happened earlier, then flood has come up. So this is Sheshwat Anuman. Okay, Purvatam Anuman is when you are talking about something before the event has occurred. For example, if I say there will be rainfall in some time because there are dark or heavy clouds. Okay, if I'm saying dark and heavy clouds are there in the mountain or in the sky, now it is going to rain. So this is Purvat Anuman. Sheshwat is when after the means incident has happened, after that we are talking. For example, rainfall has happened on the hills. After that I am talking. Okay, it might have rained on the hills. That is why we are facing floods. This is Sheshwat Anuman. Okay, second type of anuman. Yes, MH Khan, if you are there in our WhatsApp group, certainly I will be compiling all the topics of logical reasoning and putting up in the WhatsApp group. Okay, now this is a very nice question. This barrel contains 100 apples. So barrel, you can think of it as nothing but a container. So this barrel contains 100 apples. 3 apples selected at random were found to be ripe. Ripe means they are ready to be eaten. Okay, they are not raw. The opposite of raw is ripe. Therefore, probably all 100 apples are ripe. Which type of argument is exemplified on the above set of statements, whether it is an inductive argument, deductive or hypothetical syllogism or modus ponens? Try to answer this. Okay, yes. Okay, C is not the right answer. This barrel contains 100 apples. For example, if I'm saying one container is having 100 apples, okay, there is 100 apples are there. Okay, let's assume these are apples. Now you pick 3 apples, 1, 2 and 3, and you saw all of them are 3 of them are ripe. Now you are concluding that all of them are ripe. So this is an example of inductive argument. Okay, inductive argument, inductive, remember, whenever you hear of the word inductive, you remember IPG, from particular to general, means you saw 1 apple, 2 apple, 3 apple, and on the basis of 3 apples, you are saying that all the apples are ripe. Okay, so what kind of argument this is? This is a type of inductive argument, students. Okay, what is this? This is a kind of inductive argument where we are going from particular to general. Okay, deductive is what? Deductive is DGP. DGP is from general to particular, but inductive is from particular to general. And one more important thing or important concept that I would like to tell you over here is, if the question is saying this barrel contains 100 apples, 3 of them are selected and were right. So this is an example of weak inductive argument. What is this? This is a weak inductive argument. And if I say this barrel this barrel contains 100 apples, 80 apples were selected at random and were found ripe. So instead of 3, if I selected 80, then we would have called it strong inductive argument. What is the difference between strong and weak? Strong means when you are taking the probability between 0.5 and 1. Okay, more than 50%. Right, students? If I am taking more than 50% chances, means if 100 apples are there, if I am taking more than 100, more than 50, that is I've taken 80 apples. So this is an example of strong inductive argument. And weak inductive argument, if I am having 100 apples and I am taking less than 50 apples, it could be 40, 30, 3, 1, 4, anything, any number less than 50. So this is an example of weak inductive argument. Got it, students? Please, students, I highly recommend you to please ask any doubts regarding this. This is very important. Okay, so you should all know what is the difference between a strong inductive argument and weak inductive argument. So, strong inductive argument is when the probability is more than 50%, and weak is when the probability is less than 50%. Okay, for example, here 100 apples are there. So, if you are taking more than 50 apples, so this is an example of strong inductive argument. And if you are talking about less than 50 apples, so this is a weak inductive argument. Okay, so the right answer is A over here. I hope everyone got it. If anyone has any doubt, please let me know. Next question. No one has ever succeeded despite trying for centuries to disapprove the claim of astrology. Hence, it can be concluded that the claims are true. So, which of the following fallacies committed in the above statement? Slippery slope, appeal to ignorance, hasty generalization, or red herring. So now you see there are so many questions based on formal and informal fallacies, which makes this topic so much more important. Okay, which fallacy is this? Slippery slope. Remember slippery slope, I gave you the example of parents and students. When if a student has not done homework, so if I say, if you don't do homework, you will fail in the class. If you will fail in the class, you will not be able to go to college. If you will not be able to go to college, you will not get good job. And if you will not be able to get good job, you will become homeless and poor. Okay. So taking one point and then going to a hypothetical situation, it is an example of slippery slope fallacy, which many times our parents, I'm sure all the students who are alive have experienced slippery slope fallacy in their lives. Okay, hasty generalization, I also gave you example, the drugs example. Red herring example, also I gave you the example between Eric and John. Okay, they were talking about cheating on their spouse. Okay, so the person who was cheating, he was going into some, he was deviating from the argument. So the, if even if you don't know the answer to this question, by elimination method, okay, slippery slope is not the answer, hasty generalization is not the answer, red herring is also not the answer, so the answer is going to be appeal to ignorance. Okay, so what here is appeal to ignorance is the answer. We are saying, the question is saying, no one has ever succeeded despite, means even trying for centuries, centuries means for hundred of years, to disapprove the claims of astrology. So many people are trying to disapprove the claim of astrology. They are saying that stars cannot tell your future. Hence we are saying then, hence it cannot, hence it can be concluded that these claims are true. Okay, so appeal to ignorance is the right answer to this question. When something, if it is not being proven, then you believe the opposite of it. For example, if many people are trying to prove that God does not exist, okay, God does not exist, but nobody has been able to prove, means we cannot prove that God does not exist, so I am saying God exists. Okay, you got my point, students? If there are people who are trying to prove that God does not exist, but they are not able to succeed, okay, they are not able to prove that God does not exist, so we are concluding that God exists. So this is ability to ignorance fallacy, that we are ignoring the fact, okay, that nobody is able to prove this thing, that God does not exist, so I am assuming that God exists. So this is appeal to ignorance fallacy. Yes, Shreya, slippery slope fallacy. Remember, I told you that from a single point, the argument goes into some hypothetical situation. For example, if a kid means a small kid, does not do homework. You remember, we many times when we were kids, we used to, we did not like to do homework. So our parents used to say, if you don't do homework, you will fail in the class. If you fail in the class, you will not go to college. If you don't get good college, you will not get good job. If you don't get good job, you will become homeless and poor. So this poor kid, he has not done his homework, but I am saying that he will become poor and homeless in future. So what is this? This is a fallacy. This is a slippery slope fallacy. From one point, the argument is stretching to another level only. So this is slippery slope fallacy. Okay, let's see the next question. All animals with such features are either bison or buffaloes. Okay, many times we say no, that all animals with such and such features are either bison or buffaloes. So these animals This animal has those features and it is not a bison, therefore it is a buffalo. So according to Nyaya school, this argument exemplifies which of the following pramanas, that is instrument of knowledge. Try to answer this. Try to answer this. Okay. So here you remember pramanas we saw yesterday. What is pramanas? Pramanas mean sources of knowledge, from which source you are getting knowledge. Okay. So this upmana means comparison. The English term for upmana is comparison. So I am saying that this animal, it is having this kind of skin, these horns. So we are saying that if animal is having this kind of features, he is either, or this animal is either bison or buffaloes. So this animal has those features and it is not a bison, therefore it is a buffalo. So definitely definitely the pramana here is upmana, because we are comparing. Okay, whenever there is comparison being done, then it is upmana. Okay, shabda means verbal testimony. Okay, anumana is inference. Okay, and arthpati example I gave you, Devdutt is fat and he's not eating during the day. That means he's eating during the night. So this is an example of Arthpati Pramana. Okay. So the right answer is option A, Upmana. Coming to the next question, which of the following statement is true regarding contrary proposition? So this question was asked on 21st November 2021. Exactly last year it was asked. Try to answer this. Very good. Okay, students are giving the right answer. Contrary. Okay. Question number 10. Oh, so that means students are still confused with. Okay, okay. Question number 11. Yeah, yeah. You have not answered. Okay. Try to answer question number 11, student. What is question number 11 saying? Try to answer. I am saying which is true regarding contrary proposition. So, can you tell me? Okay. One student is saying A. Oh my god. Please, guys, don't scare me. I'm not expecting this from you. How can you say that both they can both be true? I'm talking about contrary. We have just seen a question on contrary. Don't make such kind of errors. Okay, contrary is the relationship between A and B. I already gave you the example of PM. If two people are saying that I am the PM, I am the PM, then they both can be false, but they both cannot be true. So that applies to contrary. Students, again I'm telling, A will not be the answer. See, contrary is the relation. First of all, you should know what is contrary. So contrary is the relationship between A and E. Okay. And here both can be false. Okay. Both can be false. But both cannot be true. Okay. If both two people are saying I am the PM, I am the PM, then they both can be lying, but they together cannot be true. Okay. So if you look at the statement, they are saying they can both be true. So this is first of all the option that you have to eliminate. Okay, first of all, what you have to do is eliminate the first option, because in contrary, they both can be false. Okay, if you're saying they both can be true, so this is an incorrect statement. Now I am saying the third option is saying they cannot both be false. Okay, so this is also wrong, because they both can be false. Here, cannot is the wrong term. It should be they can both be false. So again this is wrong. Okay. The falsity of one entails the truth of the other. So this is also not right. If one is false, the other could be false. Okay, you cannot say one is false, the other is true. So this is also wrong. The right answer is the truth of one entails the falsity of the other. Okay, because as I told you, both cannot be true. Okay, in contrary, both cannot be true. If one is true, the other has to be false. Okay, so this is what is contrary, students. Please, I request you, if you are having doubt, ask me. I will tell again, plus, but please don't make such kind of errors. Okay, the truth of one entails the philosophy of the other. It means, again I will tell, contrary means that both can be false, but both cannot be true. Okay, both can be false. If both of them are saying I am the PM, I am the PM, both can be lying, but both cannot be true. Okay, so if one is true, the other has to be false. So B is the answer. Got it, everyone? Next question. An informal fallacy is one that may be defined through mere inspection of the structure or form of an argument. Okay, an informal fallacy. So this question has been asked in a different way in one of the previous questions. So this question is again from 21st November 2021 examination. So I'm saying this is informal fallacy is one that may be identified through mere inspection of the form or structure of an argument. Remember, students, informal fallacy is the fallacy which comes from the content. Okay, so this statement is false. Again, I will tell. Formal fallacy is because of the structure or form. Okay, informal fallacy is because of content, students. Please remember, formal fallacy is because of structure, informal fallacy is because of content. So our statement 1 is saying informal fallacy is because of structure. So can you see? No. Formal fallacy is because of structure, informal fallacy is not because of structure. So this is incorrect. Right? Now let's look at the second statement. Formal fallacy is one that can be deducted only through the analysis of the content. So this is also wrong, because formal fallacy is detected through the structure. Okay, and informal fallacy is detected through the content. So both are incorrect. That means the right answer is option B. Both 1 and 2 are incorrect statements. Okay, dear students. Neelam, why are you saying C as the answer? Is why are you saying that first is correct? No, first is incorrect. For informal fallacy is not because of structure, it is because of content. Okay, got it? Now you have to remember, formal fallacy is because of structure and informal fallacy is because of content. Right? Next question. Truth and falsehood are predicates of an argument. Validity and invalidity are predicate of statement. Now you have to tell again, this is a question which is asking you to tell if both are correct, both are incorrect, or one is correct, one is incorrect. Truth and falsehood. Truth and falsehood. Remember the first question that I have taken in today's class. Truth and false is not said with respect to argument. Whenever you see the word argument, an argument could be either valid or it could be invalid. Okay, and statement could be either true or it could be false. So truth and falsehood are predicates of an argument? No, truth and falsehood are predicates of statement. So this is also incorrect. The second is also incorrect. So the right answer is both 1 and 2 are incorrect. Question number 13, both of them are incorrect. Okay, whenever you talk about argument, students, argument could be valid, invalid, and statements could be true or false. Okay. Oh, your fallacy topic has been skipped. Formal, informal fallacy, did you skip over? Okay. Now, then 14th question. All men are mortal is true. So let's draw this A, E, I, O. So students, this type of question have real high chances of coming in the examination. I will tell you how to solve this question. Okay. So all men are mortal is true. Where will all men are mortal statement come? So this is a type of statement. Okay, all men are mortal is true. So contrary. So what is contradictory? You remember? I told you contradictory means if A is true, O is false, or if E is true, I is false. So opposite. Now I am saying all men are mortal. This statement is true. So which is going to be false? This is going to be false. What is the same statement? Some men are not mortal. Some men are not mortal. So this is some men are not mortal. So this is false. So this is correct. Okay. Now let's look at the this statement. No men are mortal is false. Okay. So if A is true, E is going to be false. Why? Because of contrary. Contrary, you remember, both cannot be true. Okay, both can be false, but both cannot be true. So if one is true, the second one has to be false. So E is going to be false. So what is E? E is no man is mortal. So this is false. So this is correct. This is correct. Now let's look at this one. Okay. Some men are mortal is true. Truth follows downwards. Okay. If because of subaltern, if A is true, I is also going to be true. Okay. For example, if I am saying all men are mortal is true, so some men are mortal is also going to be true, right? So this is true. So since some men are not mortal is false, so this statement which is saying some men are mortal is true, so this is incorrect. Some men are mortal is false, so this is also incorrect. The right answer becomes A, B, and D. D is the answer. Got it? Shall we see the next question? Yes. A very simple question asked on 26th November 2021. Steps of inference and the statement. So we have thesis which is pratijana, hetu which is the reason, example udharna, and application as upanaya. So you have to match it with the statements. So the statement is this mountain has fire. So this is the pratijana. Okay. This statement has this mountain has fire. Now what is the reason? Because of smoke. So this is the reason. What is the udharna? Udharna is wherever there is smoke there is fire, as in the kitchen. So the udharna is the second statement. And what is the application? Application is the mountain. The mountain also has smoke accompanied by fire like in the kitchen. So this is the application. So this is, so the answer will be 3124. 3124, D is the answer. Okay. So since one student is asking me to explain question number 14, I will explain. See students, in contradictory, if one is true, the other is going to be false. Okay, now if the question is saying all men are mortal is true. Okay, all men are mortal, this is true. So this is going to be false. What is O statement? O is some men are not mortal. So this some men are not mortal, it is false. That is why I have said that D is, this statement is true. Now, if in because of contrary, you remember contrary, I told you that both cannot be false. Sorry, both cannot be true. Okay, so if one is true, that second one has to be false. So E is going to be false. So what is E statement? E is no man is mortal is false. Okay, and because of subaltern, in subaltern, if A is true, the I is going to be true. Okay, truth follows downwards. Okay, truth follows downwards. So if this is true, this is also going to be true. So if all men are mortal is true, then some men are mortal is also going to be true. That is why the answer is 1, 2 and 4. Okay, A, B and D is the answer. Okay. So this was the, yeah, one more important thing students. Tomorrow we are going to have a Maha Marathon where we are going to cover the entire logical reasoning in 90 minutes. Okay. Tomorrow's session is very, very important students. Complete logical reasoning will be covered in 90 minutes. Very important session. And lastly, I would also like to tell you that we have complete courses for economics, commerce, computer science, and management. Okay, if you want to join our courses, we provide you complete study material right from mock test, notes, video lectures, and PYQs PDF. Okay, so paper 1 is free with paper 2. Okay, one more thing, one student is asking me to explain question number 50. So Pratijina, you remember what is Pratijina? Pratijina is the statement that I'm giving. What statement I'm giving? That the mountain has fire. Okay, this is the statement I'm giving. Why I'm saying that this mountain has fire? Because of smoke. So Hetu is the reason. You remember I told you what is Hetu? Hetu is the reason. So that is why I marked B with the 1. What is Udharna? Udharna means the example. So what is the example here? The example is whenever there is smoke, there is fire, as in the kitchen. So as in the kitchen, this is the example. So example was C. So C is marked with 2. C is marked with 2. Now what is the application? The mountain also has smoke accompanied by fire like in the kitchen. So I am applying the example in the current situation, that is Upanaya. Okay. So the right answer is 3124. Got it? Okay. So thank you for coming in this session, students. I hope you like it. If you have any doubts or queries, please let me know. Okay, I've explained question number 15 also. Tomorrow session, very important. It is a Maha Marathon session on logical reasoning. We'll be taking up complete logical reasoning. So if you have missed any topic, don't worry. We will be touching or we'll be understanding each and every topic in detail in tomorrow's session. So tomorrow's session is going to be nearly 90 minutes. Okay, 1.5 hours complete logical reasoning will be covering.